me out, but I'm still holding the throne. You never know till it's over. So pretty it hurts. Just beware of the thorns.
Hello YouTube. I figured I'd do another one. Today I want to talk about my buddy Cole, as we call him. That's his middle name, but his first name's Chris. So if you like prison content, go ahead and subscribe, like, share, and comment. I always like the comments. I always like hearing from you guys. And you guys got interesting stories too that I just find interesting and fascinating. So let's get into this. I've told you a little bit about Chris before, Cole. He's from Springfield, Missouri. And he worked with his dad. His dad was a bricklayer, and so he worked with him. A lot of the buildings in Springfield was built by him and his dad. He showed me pictures of them. But I got to know him as a workout partner, and we worked out, and he told me about how he got caught, and I told you guys about that. Him and another guy was robbing a convenience store with a broken BB gun, and he didn't have his shoes tied, and took off running, tripped and fell because his shoes weren't tied, but he got rid of the gun, but they found it. And that's what those drugs do to you. He had a good job. He had couldn't ask for anything better really, but he got into the drugs, and caused him to do things that would end up getting him caught. That to hear him tell the story about the shoe thing, robbing that convenience store, will have you laughing, because just the way he tells it. Anyway, so we're working out, worked out all the time, every chance we could. But my cousin in Germany, I asked him, I said, I would like to write a German convict over a prisoner, and can you find me one? See if you can find me one. And he did. And excuse me. It took him a while, but he did. And Germans, they don't really, they're not like Americans in that they don't open up right when they, they're not. It takes you a while to get to know them. So that's why it was kind of hard to find one. But he found one, so I was writing this guy, and that's what this story is going to be mainly about, is me and Cole writing German prisoners. And my cousin had also gotten me a subscription to Kicker magazine. I didn't ask for the subscription, but I ended up liking it. And that's a soccer magazine. And so, I would read it, and it helped me with my German. And Cole would, because he was learning German too. He was trying to learn German. He would look through it, and I'd help him with some of the words he didn't know. But he would like to write somebody in Germany too. So I asked this guy if he had any friends that would like to write, and mainly their reasons for writing us was the same as us writing them. It wasn't because we wanted somebody to write, really. It was because we was wanting to find out about the German prison system, and they was wanting to learn more about the American prison system, and they'd seen documentaries and stuff. So, and I watched the documentary just last night just so I could do this, and also to verify what these guys were telling us. And everything they said pretty much was true. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But Cole, I found him one. He gets to writing them, and he was writing like crazy to them. I might get a letter and I'd take my time writing it back because there was no hurry. We're all in prison. Where we're gonna go? So one of the things we learned was that anybody who's been in prison over here knows about the storeman. He's usually 1.5 or 2 for 1. Over there, the norm is 3 for 1. You go to the storeman, you get something, you pay him back 3. It's crazy to me. And I told him that the one I was writing that, I said that's just crazy to me. But the thing of it is, they made more money over there. Like most jobs in Missouri pay $750 if you ain't got a GD, $850 if you do, a month, and then you can work up to maybe 10. Like my rec job made $20 a month, and I really didn't care about it. I mean, it's just a little bit extra, but I had money coming in. Their jobs paid way more. Like the laundry job was like 250 euros. I think it's comes around like 200 something bucks a month. That's more than most. I don't think there's any jobs in Missouri prisons that pay that much. There may be, but I don't know of them. So they get paid good for their jobs. And they have count, but the count over there is called something different. It's a little bit different too. It's called life check or something like that. If you translate it, that's what it is. And they come by, they open the door, make sure you're in there. And the cells it's crazy. They can have DVDs in there. They can play video games in there. The toilet is not, you can't see it. You got to go into like a little cubicle to use the toilet. And they got cupboards for holding things. It's just crazy. And when he told me about this, I'm thinking, well, what kind of prison is he in? Maybe he's low level. And he wasn't high level, but he wasn't low either. So that was crazy. And what else was they telling us? They got drug problems over there too, in those prisons, but it's not like over here. And from that documentary I watched, these guys got it made over there. It's not compulsory to have mandatory to have a job. It's unless under certain circumstances they can have a single man cell. I remember a few times like Sally go to the hole, get transferred. I'd be in a cell by myself for a few days. And I enjoyed it. Yeah, it gets a little boring, but really you can do what you want when you want to do it, So that would be great. In this video that I watched, they ain't got a sink in there, I guess, because when in the morning after they did their count, he would hit this button and this light would come on, and it would let him know that he needed hot water for his coffee. So they'd bring him by him. They'd open the door and he'd hold his cup out and they'd fill him up some hot water. Uh, and then these guards, the light also lets them know, because when the guard opens the door, like another light on the light comes on, and it lets everybody else, prison staff, know where that guard's at, know what he's doing. And they got these little things. They're not allowed to have any weapons of any kind, but they got these little things on them. It's got a cord on it that if it's broke, it goes off. If it's turned horizontally, it goes off after 5 seconds. You know, if they're laying down getting beat, then it goes off. These guys have no. The ones in the video I saw had no weights. It was just like a basketball court they went out on, and some of them played soccer. But the ones that Cole and I wrote, they said they had weights, but they said it was only like they didn't get to use it very often. You know, it depended on a number of things. One, if they had a staff member that was there and willing to take them out there, you know, to the gym, because they have to stand there and watch them. You know, we had guards walking around in the gym too, but they didn't just stand. Sometimes they'd leave. You know, you'd be in areas where there weren't no guards or any rec staff or anything like that. They had all kinds of channels that they could watch over there in Germany. And these guys told me and Cole the same thing. They couldn't believe that we only had like 40 channels. Cole and I we weren't complaining about that too much, you know, but we just thought it was amazing that they had all these channels, that they had DVD players, and that they could play video games, and they lived pretty good over there. I'm not putting down the German prison system, because apparently their rehabilitation thing is a lot better than it is in the U.S. I mean, if they don't have no skill, it's mandatory that they learn the job skill, and, you know, vocational. And in this video, they had this guy, he was learning how to work with metal by welding and other things. He's becoming a specialist in that. Cole's doing that now. He went to Cameron, and they actually have a welding shop there, and he took it, and now he's like a tutor there. So, you know, hats off to Cole Crowler, man. He's a good dude, and he just didn't go in there and prison and try to, you know, just do his time. And, you know, he's trying to improve himself, and he gets out in April. Can't wait for him to get out. Maybe I'll have him on this show if he wants to come. I'm sure you guys will get a kick out of him. He'll have you laughing. I'm sure he might be a little nervous, but this dude cracks me up. But I remember when we was sitting out in the wing, looking at this Kicker magazine. I was helping him with the German. This guy comes up. Now it's obvious what the magazine's about, and it's not a small magazine. It's like a huge magazine. This guy comes up, says, "What are you doing? Looking at a soccer magazine?" Cole and I looked at one another and looked at him. You know, I ain't ready to get smart yet, you know. But I mean, I'm thinking in my head, really? So I said, yeah, that's what it is. Now, everybody knows. They see Cole and I out there every day, and Cole does his little German lesson. I help him with him for a little bit, and then we do other things. So everybody knows. And the Mexicans even called me Alemán, which means German, but I told them I'm American, amigo. but but this guy, next thing he says was, so that's in German. I said, I was thinking it was Spanish, and couldn't help it. And Cole, he starts laughing. Everything's lighthearted to him. Most things. I mean, he gets a kick out of things. So the guy says, next thing he says is, "Can you read it?" I'm assuming he's talking about to Cole, so I don't say anything. And Cole thinks he's talking about him too. And Cole says, "Well, not very good, but I'm getting better at it." The guy goes, "Well, I was talking about Harvey." Well, of course I can read it. I don't think my cousin would have got me a subscription to it if I couldn't read it. I mean, it was kind of an expensive magazine. But so then Cole and I get to kind of watching soccer, the Bundesliga, which is like the American MLS. It's uh, different teams around Germany playing each other. So it was on FS1, I believe, and so every Saturday and Sunday we would watch the games. And sometimes it'd be on Friday, and they also had the English too, but I couldn't really get into that. Of course, we watched the World Cup in 2014, and I guess it was in 2018 I was out. By then, I got out in 2016. But anyway, back to this. I'm going to give you guys a link to this documentary in case you want to watch it. You guys will see what I'm talking about. These guys, they have it made over there. I mean, don't get me wrong. No matter where you're at, you're still in prison. I mean, the bottom line is you're in prison. But what I'm talking about, I can't see that place being, any of those places over there being violent. I can't see even coming close to the American system, no matter what prison they're in. But, maybe there is a prison in America like that over there, but I don't know about it. I've never heard about it. If you guys know, let me know. That'd be kind of interesting. But these guys, all they got to do is just do their time, play their video. That one guy, he plays video games all day long. They showing him he was into drugs and pimping and stuff like that, and so. But and there he just all day long. Oh, and that's another thing. Their food is brought to them. There's no chow hall. Well, at least not in the one they were showing on this documentary, and not at the one where these guys were writing us. There was no chow hall. And the food was brought to them. And these prisons were old too. Well, this one was that they showed, and I'm pretty sure the ones where these guys was writing, that was old too. But I'm sure they got modern ones. And it was the one in this documentary was huge. They said it was could take up the space of 25 soccer fields, and so that's what 100 yards long each soccer field, and what I'm not sure how wide they are, but they're kind of like football fields, so you figure that out. But anyway, Cole, like I said, he I left before he did, and I went to Algoa. He went to Cameron, so he's in Cameron now, and he'll be getting out in a few years. And that's my buddy there. I mean, it's funny. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I thank you for watching.